Hello everybody and welcome back to the Cage Corporation, your one-stop shop for all things comics, animation and gaming entertainment. And today we're taking a look at the brand new starter deck Link Strike for Yu-Gi-Oh! Links came out yesterday, but I've only just managed to get my two copies, each at $7.99 in Nerd World, and I've eventually managed to get the new starter deck. And it is crucial to note that this is a starter deck, but this is currently the only place where you can get Link monsters until, I imagine, probably Code of the Duelist, when we'll get a whole bunch of new Link monsters then. So she'll be going over the contents of the deck and what you can expect to see inside. So first of all, of course, you do get a rule book and a new mat. Ironically, the mat I'm currently using is actually irrelevant now, because it doesn't have the extra monster zones, although I'm still going to use it. I don't care. The extra monster zones will be going here and here, respectively. So, of course, we have our 40-card deck as well as a rulebook if you really need to know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm sure you probably don't, and to be honest, if you know anything about link summoning from the internet at this point, you pretty much know everything that's detailed in the new rulebook that's inside, so you probably won't find that particularly helpful. But let's cut to the chase. What everybody wants to see, the brand new Link monsters. So we have Link Spider, which is a Link 1000 attack point Cyburst with a 1 arrow facing down. Then we have Honeybot, which is a Link 2 1900 attack, requiring 2 Cyburst monsters and has 2 arrows pointing to the sides. And of course, the Decode Talker, which is an ultra, I believe that's, I want to say ultra rare, but now I'm not entirely sure. And that's a 2300 Link 3. So there they are, the 3 brand spanking new Link monsters. I actually really like the design. I think they look really nice and shiny, and I like shiny things. So this one is a 1000 attack points. Link 1 requires 1 normal monster. This one requires 2 Cyburst monsters, and this one requires 2+ effect monsters. They all have various effects. So I'm going to pop those there so we can continue to ogle them whilst I go through the rest of the deck. So the first thing that we have is a Link Slayer, which is also a shiny card. That's a level 5, and it's a Cyburst, which is the newest type of monster. Level 5 Earth, like 2600 on its stat line. And if I control no monsters, you can special summon this card from my hand. Now once per turn, I can pitch up to 2 cards, then target that many magic attract cards on the field and destroy them. So that's kind of cool. It's almost like Twin Twisters, not quite as good, but hey, for those of us who never got around to getting Twin Twisters, that's also kind of helpful. And the Cyber Dragon-esque effect is also pretty cool. And speaking of Cyber Dragon, you also get a copy of that. You also get a copy of Photon Thresher, which is cool. So those 3 are sort of special summon themselves from your hand if you control no monsters. So those are good draw cards for turn 1. And I think it's pretty cool that they include a variety rather than sort of one crappy one that you don't lose to the lack of consistency from just picking up a regular starter deck. We then move into Beast King Barbaros, who of course is a 3000 attack point, 1200 defensive point Earth level 8 monster. Beast Warrior, which I can normal summon or set this card without tributing, but its original attack becomes 1900. So again, turbos to get effect monsters, crucially for Decode Talker onto the field. That's always great. Then you have a great stall card, Marshmallow. I'm not sure if I need to describe what Marshmallow does. It can't be destroyed by battle. Then we have Card D, which cannot be special summoned, and the turn they contribute this card and draw 2, which is also really nice as a turbo. We have Rico Lightsworn Hunter, who is a flipped monster. I can destroy 1 card in the field and send the top 3 decks of my deck, 3 cards of my deck to the graveyard, which is also nice. It's worth noting that they are now officially putting GY as a shorthand for graveyard on cards now, as opposed to just printing graveyard. We then also have a copy of Battle Fader, which is a fiend monster, and an opponent's monster declares direct attack. I special summon this card from my hand, and I can then end the battle phase. So that's all great and good, and I like those monsters. I mean, I have a fair few of those already, and I think that's probably the biggest problem with Link Strike, is I have a lot of these cards already. So then we'll move on to Exarian Universe, Beast Warrior, 1800, 1900, and I'm sure you can read the effect from there, you're not blind. We'll then follow that up with Evil Swarm Mandragora, which is if your opponent controls more monsters, you can special summon this card. Again, great for the turbo. Marauding Captain, I assume it's the errated version, if there is a errata. I know I'm questioning myself, but there you go. Of course, it does exactly that, which again is great for that. You have the definitely errated Sangan, Curry Bandit, which is during the end phase. If the monster is normal summon this turn, you can tribute this card, excavate the top 5 of your cards, and excavate one magical trap card to your hand, and then send the rest to the graveyard. So that's kind of cool for thinning out your deck, and again, along with that Light Swarm monster that I now can't remember. So we're going to move on to another shiny card. I like shiny cards, and this one is Ram Clouder. Ram Clouder is tribute one monster, then target one Cyberse monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So again, great for Honeybots, which allows you to special summon monsters to both sides, which is all great and good. Then you have Bitron, which is a Cyberse normal monster, and it's pretty much a set in defensive mode card, which is 2,000 defense points, but only a mere 200 attack points, and that's probably can be used to link summon Link Spider, which is great and goody gumdrops, and that's allows you to special summon level 4. So I'll go into a little bit more detail on those in a minute, by the way. So then let's move on to the next card, which is another Cyberse, and that's Draconet. When this card is normal summoned, you can special summon one level 2 or lower monster from your hand or deck in defense position, allowing you to turbo into Honeybot. That's probably the plan there. Then you have Galaxy Servant, which is just a regular dragon tuner normal. There are no synchro monsters included with this deck, so it's okay, but it's not that useful. But again, normal monsters for Link Spider, which is always useful, and does allow you to get into another monster, or even into another Link monster. Again, I'll go over that in a minute. So then you also have Mystery Shell Dragon, which is exactly the same, and it has 2,000 attack, and that's great. And then we have 2 more monsters. I'm going to pop those to the side. Then we have 2 more monsters, Swift Scarecrow and Effect Veiler. All great and golly good drops. So the monsters lineup seems to be pretty specialised on links, as you would kind of hope. Yeah, that's all great and good. So the first magic card, or spell card if you prefer, Cynet Universe, which is a field magic card. All link monsters you control gain 300 attack. Once per turn, you can target one monster in the graveyard, shuffle it into your deck. If this card on the field is destroyed by a card effect, or send all monsters in the extra monster zones to the graveyard. That's pretty peak, as it turns out. That doesn't seem like a particularly powerful field magic card, but hey, it's still there. Then we have Monster Reincarnation, which is pitch one card and add one monster in my graveyard to hand. Dark Hole, always helpful, destroy all monsters on the field. One copy of MST, one copy of Book of Moon, which flips monsters in defense mode. Forbidden Lance, United We Stand, one Duality, one Burden of the Mighty, which each face-up monster your opponent controls uses 100 attack times its own level. One Supply Squad, which allows you to draw a card, and one copy of Terraforming to round out all of our magic cards. And then we come on to our trap cards, and I assume that by the quantity of trap cards, you'll have to excuse my sniffing, by the way, I've got a bit of a cold flu thing going on. There's quite a lot of trap cards. I think the most I've ever seen in any sort of starter or structure deck. So that's pretty cool, pretty interesting. That I assume Konami might assume that the trap cards are becoming more relevant with the slowing down of the game via Link monsters. So let's start ourselves off with Jar of Avarice, which again is a draw card. There's a lot of draw power cards in this deck, which is great for consistency, great for trying to get more cards out into the field. Then we have one copy of Haunt Call, one copy of Mirror Force, one Torrential Tributes, spicy, one Ring of Destruction, one Bottomless Trap Hole, one Compulsory Evacuation Device, a Fiendish Chain, and a Dark Bribe to finish you off. So some really spicy tech cards there as far as traps are concerned, and I quite like the whole trap lineup. So as promised, let's talk a bit more about those new Link monsters. That's what everyone's really here to see, and I've kind of been holding off on them until the very end. So Link Spider there is a Cyberse Link effect. One normal monster once per turn. You can special summon one level 4 or lower monster from your hand to your zone this card points to. So the bottom zone there, which is actually pretty good for turboing into Honeybots, say, which is probably why Link Spider is in any way relevant. So Honeybots is a level Cyberse, level 4, Cyberse Link effect, 2 Cyberse monsters. Neither player can target monsters. This card points to with card effects, and those monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. That's pretty spicy. I really like that one. Of course, it has 1900 attack, Link 2. And then finally, what's the Vrain's character called? Oh, I can't remember. It's not important. Decode Talker, which is a great looking card. I love the artwork on this one, actually, quite a lot. And it reminds me of some of the classic sort of Buster Blader with that stance. And it's a Cyverse Link effect monster. 2+ effect monsters and gains 500 attack for each monster it points to. Spicy as fuck, really. Then when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a card you control, this is a quick effect. You contribute one monster this card points to negate the activation, and if you do destroy that card, it's 2300 Link 3. That is a spicy card, but the only problem with it is it does offer your opponent a chance to special summon a monster from their extra deck as well as your own. But I really like how this deck actually has a respectable amount of synergy. Quite often you get structured decks that kind of work, but not really. This one could actually quite easily be a structure deck. It is a starter deck. It is a starter deck, but it could very much easily be a structure deck. I like the spicy trap techs. They're pretty useful. I do like the new Cyberse cards. To be honest, though, apart from those, you could put this together yourself. Stuff like who doesn't have Dark Bribe, Compulsory, MST, Dark Hole, etc. We've all got them. We've all got those cards, but it is still worth paying. I mean, I only paid $7.99 anyway, and it's certainly worth getting your hands on these new Link monsters because otherwise you will be up shit creek and unable to summon more than one extra monster in return. So I guess you're kind of strong-armed into buying this set. If not, you can wait until Code of the Duelist, but to be honest, there's a lot of synergy with these three cards in this set of cards that you are able to, in this deck, that you were able to get into. Now, the strategy seems to be to link summon Link Spider to your zone there, and then go into to Honeybot by using its effect and doing all this cool ass shit, and you can do all this other stuff or whatever, and then Honeybot into 2 monsters there, or indeed you can go into Decode Talker, pump itself up with a bunch of cool shit and fucking do all this stuff by pumping monsters into there. It's worth noting, as far as link summoning goes, is that if you first off summon a link monster, you can choose whichever monster zone which of the link zones you wish to go into. And as an added bonus, of course, you can use link monsters as materials for a link summon by using their link cost. So, with that all being said, I hope you found this video respectively entertaining and useful. To whether or not you want to get to the Link Strike starter deck, or whether you're going to hold out for Code of the Duelist. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you'd like to see more of these videos, then consider hitting that subscribe button, and I'd love to see you in the next video. Take it easy, guys. Thank you very much.